We are less than 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. ESPN's Peter Schrager released his mock draft on Tuesday morning. He does 2 of these, one the week of the draft, one this week. So no surprise, Fernando Mendoza projected to go number 1 overall to the Raiders. He also has the Titans selecting running back Jeremiah Love at number 4 overall, and the Cowboys taking safety Caleb Downs at number 12. So Christian Parker gets a star defensive player, first year defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Kevin, as we look at like the intriguing questions around the draft, obviously there's a lot of buzz this time of year. What is the most intriguing one you're following?
From a team building standpoint, it's Dallas Cowboys. Here's why. They've got 2 picks, 12 and 20. And when I look at teams that can be one player away, one difference maker away from actual contention, from division championships, the Cowboys are at the top of my list. If they hit on a Ruben Bain at 12, who's been mocked there in a couple of ESPN, Field Yates, Matt Miller, Mel Kiper type of mock drafts over the last month, if they hit on a Caleb Downs, if one of those guys falls to them either because of positional value with Downs or because of the arm length with Bain, I run to the podium to take either of those guys because they need front 7 and they need secondary. Either of those guys changes the culture immediately. The draft picks for Jerry Jones are never a problem. It's what happens after the draft picks. Now, I know in 2009 they drafted a DB named Stephen Hodge before Jason McCourty. Massive mistake. But typically, they're able to nail these draft picks, okay? And I think they're going to understand Ruben Bain and Caleb Downs, 2 guys who dominated in big games, who played a lot of high-level football. Those are plug-and-play year-one guys. The Cowboys are not far off, guys. We know how high the floor is on that offense. They only need to get to average on defense to win that division. Give me Bain, give me Downs, give me real deal Cowboys contention in 2026.
The Cowboys, amongst all other 31 other teams, made a mistake not drafting me higher up. But that's another story for another day.
How could you?
Can I play devil's advocate? And you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
They've made some moves, Rashawn Gary, Jalen Thompson in the secondary on the defensive side of the ball. You're of the belief that 2 rookies can come in and completely change everything for that defense, where they were bottom of the barrel last year, couldn't figure out enough with an offense with Dak Prescott that was unbelievable at the top of the league. So now you're going to say just 2 rookies. They come in from day one, and those are the guys setting the culture, making a huge difference that now we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys playing in the Super Bowl. That much belief in a Ruben Bain and a Caleb Downs?
Yes. You only need to get to average. I'm not saying Bain or Downs or whatever combination of that, and then when you get another guy at 20, maybe you get a corner at 20, okay? So let's take one of those guys, then a corner. And then you're talking about just getting to 15, 14, 13, something like that. They don't need to be top 5. They don't need to be top 5. They're going to score so many points. They have a new DC, as you mentioned, in Christian Parker. You just need to be mediocre. I wake up every day and say, just be mediocre. And look at me. I'm thriving. And so I just think there's something very tangible about both Bain and Downs. And first of all, Downs, I had Ryan Day on my show last week. He said that Caleb Downs may have been the best high school player he's ever seen in his entire life. He could play running back, that Day said, in college or in the pros. That's how athletic he is. That's how good he is in space. So yes, day one, he can play in the NFL and make a difference. Bain, his motor, his run defense, the ability for him to get to the quarterback, the fact that he plays so smart. And I think a lot of times when you play defense, so you'll get this, but a lot of times we don't talk about clutch pass rushers enough. He knows how to set up a move in the second quarter to get to winning time in the fourth quarter and get to the quarterback. That's going to translate in the NFL.
You keep mentioning Ruben Bain, and in Peter Schrager's mock draft at 20, which is their pick that they have for Green Bay, he has them taking Akeem Mesidor, so another Miami guy.
Who's 25 years old. Again, another day one ready to play type of guy.
That's where I want to go with this, Jason, because not too long ago, I remember that this Cowboys team was interested in Max Crosby before he was traded to the Raiders. They obviously don't get their star pass rusher then, but is Mesidor a day one impact, like change the complexion of that defensive front guy in your mind?
I think it's a combination, because now when you get a guy like Akeem Mesidor and you have a guy like Rashawn Gary on the other side, now you're implementing a rookie and a veteran both there to be able to impact, get after the quarterback. But also I think the biggest part is being able to stop the run along with that, having an edge setter on the outside like a guy like Mesidor that can do those style of things, because for For the Dallas Cowboys and Christian Parker, you're implementing a new defense, and you want to set a new tone. So you want to bring guys in that go with that. So to your point, a Caleb Downs, a Mesidor, Bain, whoever it is you want to implement in that, those guys are coming with an attitude that is new to Dallas that you want everybody to know. When they turn the film on, this is a Christian Parker type of defense, and we're getting after you.
The other thing with Mesidor, and it's true of Bain too, they can kick inside. Mesidor in 2024 was playing a little bit of pass coverage. I mean, they can do a lot of things. The reason Mesidor broke out so late in his career is Miami had made him gain a bunch of weight the year before, made him play defensive tackle. Bain was injured in 2024, and so it was such a weird defensive line. But Mesidor can do so many things. I think there'd be a home run pick for the Cowboys if you go a guy like Downs at 12.
Yeah. We both think foregone conclusion. Both of their first-round picks spent on defense.
I think it has to be. I don't think that's. We're talking about Jerry.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a foregone conclusion.
They're going receiver at number 12.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, we're in top 30 season before the NFL draft, 2 weeks away. And this is where teams get to bring players into the building. They get to ask them a lot of questions to get to know them a little bit better. And I do wonder, how about this for a transition? Do they ask them, how old is too old to sleep with a stuffed animal? Now, Jason was on Unsportsmanlike with us this morning, and this is where I out myself on national television, because we were having this conversation. It came off of something about just normal conversation. Yeah. And I myself am someone who carries my stuffed animal with me. I'm 35 and a half years old. So give me my half year. Give me my half inch. I'm 5'6" and a half. I want that half inch. I want my half year. How old is too old to sleep with a stuffed animal? I think we have photos of my dear Scrappy, who is going to be shown here on First Take. There he is. There's my buddy. See, he stays with me in hotels. Scrappy. I bring him with because I have like a really detailed sleep routine. And I've got to have either like a weighted blanket, the eye mask, a pillow, and he's much cuter than a pillow. So I'm sure prospects are getting this question asked of them as they're going into buildings this week. But I asked you two, how old is too old?
Kevin,
you can flame me. It's absolutely fine. Would it be the first time?
I think 35 is okay. The half.
Yeah, the half year.
Once you get to
I hit February 1st.
Off my board.
If you don't have Scrappy, can you get sleep at?
No, that's the problem. I probably wouldn't make it here to First Take if I didn't have him, because there's a process. You know all about
we can
the process.
Cut the whole rest of the show.
Yes.
I want to talk about Scrappy and how long have you had Scrappy?
2006. 2006.
Does Scrappy take baths?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What?
I'm not walking around with him being all like dusty and dingy. He's in a lot of airports.
Kevin is appalled right now.
2006. That's a little late to acquire something.
Yes, absolutely. I was at Target. I saw him. I wanted him, and now he's mine. Now he's mine.
Red flags all over the place right now.
I just went off everyone's draft board.
Oh my goodness.
Right off the draft board.
Scouts are just raising red flags in the draft.
No shot.
All right, what is the craziest thing you've ever seen at a sporting event? One member of our crew has an answer that will cause your jaw to drop. Plus, Oregon football and ice cream. Two things that go together to produce